Welcome to this exploration into the mysteries of the Akashic Records. But before we dive in, we want to give you a glimpse of what to expect from this video. This time, we're taking a different approach than usual. We don't just want to give you information about the Akashic Records, but also dive into the possibilities and speculations surrounding this fascinating concept. We'll delve into the science of dimensions, quantum physics, and fields to try to understand the mechanics behind the Akashic Records. By taking the stance that the Akashic Records truly exist, we hope to shed light on phenomena such as ghosts, foresight, instinct, gut feeling, and even remote viewing. So join us on this journey of discovery and exploration as we navigate the mysteries of the universe. Have you ever wondered if there is a universal source of knowledge and wisdom, a library of information that contains the secrets of the universe and the history of all things? Well, according to ancient spiritual and metaphysical traditions, such a library does exist, and it's called the Akashic Records. The Akashic Records are said to be the universal library of knowledge and wisdom, containing the past, present, and future of all things. The term Akashic comes from the Sanskrit word Akasha, which means ether or space. According to these traditions, the records are made up of etheric energy and can be accessed through meditation, visualization, and other spiritual practices. The concept of the Akashic Records has been around for thousands of years, appearing in different forms in Hinduism, Buddhism, and Theosophy. In these traditions, the records are believed to contain the collective knowledge and experiences of all beings across all dimensions and timelines. So, with a brief understanding of what the Akashic Records are, let's explore their fascinating history and origins. From ancient Eastern traditions to modern-day metaphysical beliefs, the concept of the records has persisted for centuries. By understanding their origins, we can better grasp the possibilities and potential of this intriguing idea. So let's dive into the history of the Akashic Records and discover how they've captured the imaginations of people throughout the ages. Now that we have a brief understanding of what the Akashic Records are, let's explore their fascinating history and origins. From ancient Eastern traditions to modern-day metaphysical beliefs, the concept of the records has persisted for centuries. The origins of the Akashic Records can be traced back to Hinduism, where it is believed that the records are kept by the god Brahma. In Buddhism, the records are referred to as the Book of Life, and it is said that they contain the karma of every living being. Theosophy, a modern-day spiritual movement, popularized the concept of the records in the Western world, describing them as a cosmic memory bank that holds the history of the universe and all its inhabitants. Throughout history, many notable figures have spoken about the Akashic Records, including Edgar Cayce, a renowned psychic who claimed to have accessed the records during his readings. Carl Jung, the famous Swiss psychologist, also spoke about the records, referring to them as the collective unconscious of humanity. The idea of the Akashic Records has also influenced various cultural and artistic expressions, from literature to music and film. For example, the concept of the records appears in the writings of authors such as H.P. Blavatsky and Alice Bailey, as well as in movies like The Matrix and Interstellar. With a better understanding of the history and origins of the Akashic Records, we can now begin to imagine the possibilities and potential of this intriguing idea. At Adara, We don't just provide facts and history, we also love to speculate. So let's take a moment to imagine what it would mean if the Akashic Records were real. How such a library of information could store all the memories and knowledge of the universe and somehow be accessed instantly. Join us as we explore the fascinating world of higher dimensions, fields, and the mysterious and peculiar attributes of quantum physics, all in the pursuit of understanding and unlocking the secrets of the universe. In the previous chapter, we explored the history and origins of the Akashic Records, from ancient Eastern traditions to modern-day metaphysical beliefs. Now, we'll take a speculative approach and dive into the mysteries of the records, using concepts from science and physics to try to understand their mechanics. So, if the Akashic Records were real, how could something that covers the entire universe be accessed wherever you are, instantly transcending time? To answer this question, we need to look beyond our three-dimensional world and into the realm of higher dimensions. According to string theory, there could be up to 11 dimensions in the universe, some of them too small for us to observe directly. By exploring the science of dimensions, we can begin to imagine how the Akashic Records might work. To help us imagine higher dimensions, let's consider the perspective of a one-dimensional being. This being would only be able to perceive its world in one dimension, forwards and backwards. If we were to interact with this being, it would see only a point or a line that it could travel along. It wouldn't know there was anything beyond its limited perception. In the same way, we humans are limited by our perception of three dimensions. But what if the Akashic Records were a structure that exists in higher dimensions, say 5 or even 10 dimensions? To beings that exist in these higher dimensions, our three-dimensional world would look like a single point or a line, with all of time and space visible at once. They would be able to see everything that has ever happened or will ever happen, in the past, present, and future. If the Akashic Records were such a structure that exists in higher dimensions, it could hold all of the memories and knowledge of the universe, not playing by the rules of time. This idea might seem unintuitive, but there is actually a scientific explanation that could work. According to string theory, there could be up to 11 dimensions in the universe, many of which we cannot perceive with our limited senses. The Akashic Records could be one example of a higher dimensional system that could explain metaphysical phenomena and open up new possibilities for understanding the universe and our place in it. Another fascinating idea to consider in the context of higher dimensions is consciousness. Could it be that our own consciousness is also a higher dimensional structure? It's an intriguing possibility that some scientists and philosophers have explored. One such person is Donald Hoffman, a cognitive scientist who proposes that consciousness is fundamental and creates everything in the universe, not the other way around, that matter creates consciousness. He suggests that multiple conscious agents make up greater consciousnesses, and he entertains the idea of a collective consciousness for the entire universe. This is a fascinating similarity to the Akashic Records, which could also be seen as a collective consciousness that one can tap into. Now that we've delved into the history and mechanics of the Akashic Records, let's explore the many intriguing phenomena and theories that the records might explain. If the Akashic Records contain all of the memories and experiences of the universe, it's not hard to imagine that these memories could be accessed by those who are close to where they took place. Perhaps events that were intense and filled with emotion and thought leave ripples or scars in this archive, making it easier to access for those willing to try. This idea could potentially provide a scientific explanation for phenomena such as ghosts, which might be memories of past events. Some even speculate that ghost sightings could be a result of glitches in the matrix or disturbances in the fabric of reality caused by intense emotional energy. The Akashic Records could hold the answers to these intriguing possibilities and open up new avenues for scientific exploration and understanding. Another subject that the Akashic Records might shed light on is psychic abilities. Many people claim to have psychic experiences such as premonitions, telepathy, and clairvoyance. So, if the records really do exist, they could provide a source of information and knowledge that could explain these abilities. A particularly fascinating subject is that of remote viewing. Initially dismissed as a conspiracy theory, it was later revealed that the CIA had a program called the Stargate program, which centered around this very thing.
Okay. Can you give me an example of a murder case or an insurance case where you've sort of conjured something up which has been helpful?
Yeah, there was a case in America where a man was found overboard from his boat in suspicious circumstances. I can't really say a great deal about it. However, there appeared to be no motive for the murder. And I was tasked from America through a contractor out there who's also a remote viewer. And I was able to ascertain from the pieces that I could do through remote viewing that there was a possibility that actually it was an internal affair. Somebody in the family was actually involved in some way or could be involved in some way. This information was sent back and I gave my reasons for this. And I was eventually told that nothing more about what had actually happened with the case apart from someone within the family had actually been arrested for the murder.
How do the American military use remote viewing?
In the military, it was used for about 18 years within the actual Cold War between Russia and the West, if you like, the East and the West. And mainly to sort of locate intelligence, things like silos for missiles, secret sites and things like this. But stuff where no other means could actually be used to get into the site to find out what's there. It was only with the event of the Cold War that we discovered that Russia actually was operating some people who were able to locate information, particularly in the United States. When America found out about it, they thought this actually was quite a good idea. This is a very
The program aimed to train soldiers and individuals to be able to see and gain information from places across the world, even if they had never been there. It has been estimated that the program received around $20 million in funding from the US government over the course of its operation, making one believe that there must have been something to it. But the mysteries and possibilities of the Akashic Records don't stop there. Some scientists and philosophers have even proposed that the records could be used to explain the mysteries of consciousness itself. If the records hold all of the knowledge and experiences of the universe, they could potentially provide a source of information that could explain the origins and mechanics of consciousness. Others have even speculated that the records could be used to access information about past lives and the afterlife, providing insights into the nature of existence itself. While these ideas are still purely speculative, they demonstrate the potential of the Akashic Records to open up new avenues of exploration and understanding. As we've explored the Akashic Records and the many intriguing possibilities they present, we've touched on some deep and fundamental concepts, such as dimensions, consciousness, and the nature of reality. But there are still some fundamental questions that remain unanswered, such as the nature of time and free will. If the Akashic Records do exist and are accessed through a higher dimension, it would challenge our perception of the physical world as the only reality. It could be that the physical world is just a simplified version of a more complex and abstract reality, existing in higher dimensions. Just like a beautiful, complicated song could be simplified and turned into a lower frequency, creating a completely different sound, the higher dimensional reality could be down-tuned to create the physical world we experience. In this perspective, time as a linear, one-directional phenomenon could be a result of this simplification. The flow of time, which we perceive as a necessary component of physical reality, could be a result of this down-tuning process. If the Akashic Records hold information about past, present, and future simultaneously, it could imply that time as a linear phenomenon is just an illusion, created by our limited perception. This raises questions about the nature of causality and free will, as the concept of linear time is closely tied to these ideas. If time is not a linear phenomenon, it would challenge our understanding of causality and our ability to make choices and shape our own destinies. It would also open up new possibilities for understanding the nature of consciousness and the universe itself. In conclusion, the Akashic Records offer a profound perspective on reality and time, inviting us to ponder the possibility of a higher dimensional reality beyond our physical world. It leads us to question the validity of our understanding of time as a linear phenomenon, which may simply be a product of our limited perception. By exploring these possibilities, we can open up new avenues for scientific exploration and understanding of the universe's mysteries and our place within it. As we come to the end of our journey exploring the Akashic Records, it's important to remember that our understanding of reality is limited by our evolutionary adaptation to our surroundings. According to Donald Hoffman, numerous studies and simulations have shown that our perception and understanding of reality are shaped by our evolutionary adaptation to our surroundings. Over time, our senses have evolved to simplify our environment and create a three-dimensional reality that aids in our survival. This means that, as Hoffman posits, our perception of reality may be limited and simplified to help us navigate the world. Therefore, the true nature of reality could be vastly more complex and abstract than what we are currently capable of comprehending. The concept of the Akashic Records challenges our limited perception and invites us to consider the possibility of a higher dimensional reality beyond our physical world, which may be more intricate and profound than we can imagine. Perhaps, as some who have had near-death experiences claim, the heavenly songs they hear signify the release of the constraints of our physical reality and the emergence into a higher frequency where new adventures await us. Just as when you down-tune a sound, our consciousness might undergo a similar process. So when we hear that heavenly music and go toward the light, we will be shocked as to how much more there is to reality. We hope this video has sparked your curiosity and encouraged you to think deeply about the mysteries of the universe and our place within it. If you enjoyed this content, please leave a comment and don't forget to subscribe for more thought-provoking videos. Thank you for joining us on this journey. And don't forget, if you think you found our little Easter egg, be sure to comment it, and we'll pin your comment if you found it. Until the next time, guys, bye.
Thank you.